So that phrase, too many social media managers, it's becoming really increasingly common across the marketing industry. Social media is large, we all know that, highly visible and consistently discussed, which naturally attracts more professionals into that space. The thing is, social media marketing was never originally designed to exist as an isolated, fragmented function. But over time, it has been, separated from really broader marketing foundations and repositioned as a standalone task-based role. Things like posting, scheduling, designing and content output have become really a dominant perception, and as a result many businesses now view social media management as a really operational activity rather than a strategic growth function. So instead of seeking structured marketing leadership, many businesses now employ junior staff internally to handle their social media. Why is that? It's mainly rooted in control and in trust. As an internal employee can be monitored, directed and observed daily, the business knows where the money's going, and this reduces the perceived risk, even if the long-term impact is limited. Social media managers are then compared on, posting frequency, output volume and price rather than the business impact. To the buyer, the difference between one provider and another becomes unclear, especially in a market where education, is fragmented and really inconsistent. This is not solely the fault of the social media manager. Buyers already operate within a fear-driven environment. They fear wasted spend, poor execution, loss of control, and because of this, they are less receptive to being educated and more focused on controllable outputs. What this then does, it prevents deeper strategic positioning from being understood, even when professionals attempt to communicate it. How marketing itself has evolved. The industry moved into fragmented roles, and niche specialisms, and now, even those fragmented roles are now experiencing declining in trust. Businesses are not just outsourcing less, they are, internalizing more. So they are willing to pay higher salaries for in-house staff simply because the function feels more controllable and more transparent. This does not mean demand for social media expertise, has totally disappeared. What it means is that the perceived value has shifted. And without a demand system that differentiates, positioning and compounds visibility over time, social media managers are left competing in an overcrowded, commoditized space where the role is reduced to tasks rather than outcomes. And in that environment, standing out becomes so difficult. Pricing becomes pressured and long-term demand becomes really unpredictable. The real question here is not whether there are too many social media managers out there. It's whether the role has been structurally reduced into, a commodity in a fragmented marketing system that now prioritizes control, output, and the cost over structured growth and long-term strategic value. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves.